Hey guys, welcome back. It's grimreaper coming at you for another video for Raid Shadows. Hopefully doing well and hopefully you're looking after yourselves, having a great Saturday wherever you are, and hopefully you're having a very well rest weekend, because damn, you guys are gonna need it, and etc. Because next week is looking like a busy week. Obviously, we had a couple of sneak peeks from raids and stuff like that. So let's get into today's video. We're gonna talk about the new meta in Arena. Now, if you was watching my channel on Thursday, I think I dropped a video on the new relic that seems to be breaking all of the new meta and bringing a new meta to this, which was about the one and only mythical champion. Went from pretty much trash deal, very niche pick, to a very solid champion in the arena, and it's all about the poisons with the new rare relic available. So today we're going to go and take in a more budget option that I think you guys will be interested with, and talk about how to build it. And this could be used on multiple builds, multiple champions that we'll talk about in today's video, and also we'll talk about how to counter it. That's the most important bit. I'm going to show you a couple of builds how to counter it, and hopefully be able to come across the teams to counter as well. It's kind of niche, the counters, but there is counters out there, and we'll talk about it in today's video. And we'll talk about what other things in today's counters are. I've already got these builds already on my account, and I've already been showcasing them throughout the last couple of weeks on a couple of videos, and it just happens to counter this new meta as well. Now, I've tested a lot of things to get the full understanding, and we have been able to go out there. Now, I will be honest, building this is not easy, and I'll talk about that in the champion showcase, but I've been testing, and I wanted to kind of come to this team here, because this team here is a very stacked up team as it is. Now, you can see here, this is a crazy team, and obviously today we're talking about the new hegemon, as people are calling him, but really he's just KALVALAX, right? And KALVALAX is probably the most budgetable champion. All this, obviously, he's not free to play. I'm not trying to say he's free to play, but he is probably the most accessible champion to get out of all the champions that use this relic, and probably Nishak as well. I won't be moving this relic onto Nishak because Nishak is in a bomb build, but we will talk about Nishak as well, and I'll show you my build for Nishak, which will be also very good with this relic as well. And there is a couple of other champions that I haven't tested yet, which I'm not going to mention in today's video, because I want to make sure I test them first before we go through. And it's all about this passive ability. This basically goes at the round, so this will basically counter a lot of champions, including our friend Hegemon here, which is very meta. We'll talk about his build, etc. So let me go ahead and throw in a team, so you guys can kind of understand it. I guess no, Nishak is actually missing gear because I've geared him for KALVALAX. So let me go ahead and throw in, I guess, Lamassu, right, to kind of, no, let's throw in another nuker like a Sigford, because Sigford is a counter to this, to KALVALAX, and we'll talk about why it's a counter and why this one isn't a counter, right? Because this KALVALAX, this one isn't a counter, as I've already tested this team, so kind of already aware. So I want to go straight into it today. As you can see, obviously there's one counter, polymorph. So that's one counter for you guys, which is polymorph. So there's one counter. Polymorph obviously counters everything. So we're going to go back in, and I want to show you something that's kind of disgusting. Before we go into that, if you've already seen this type of video, let me know in the comments if you think that this should be nerd or not. I don't think it should be nerd. I think we should just leave it in arena. I think it's fun. Personally, it hasn't bothered me too much, and etc. So you can see here, obviously, we put on the poisons at the start of the round. Stone Skin goes on after, so it cleanses it off. So obviously, Stone Skin is a counter to KALVALAX and also immunity as well. So you can see here, I've got immunity above my Sigford, which basically you can use this with Nice as well, and a couple of other champions. Now we've actually got resisted on one of the poisons on on Mr. Star Sage, so that kind of is. Now the poisons actually ignores all the passives, which is kind of nuts. So Sigurd, for example, is not going to get his fatal hit. Just like bombs, Sigurd ignores Sigurd's passive. This will as well. So we're going to obviously do this. I'm going to play the increase attack because the increase attack does increase the damage of the poisons. And obviously we're just going to do an A1 here because we don't actually want to kill any of them with the Sigurd, right? And then we can probably come in with some of the poisons. Place an extra hit for each poison, I guess. Which one can attack all enemies? Blah blah blah. We don't want to set off Sigurd's passive because if we hit him, that can set off the passive. And you see there, right? We would have killed Star Sage. Oh, we did because it takes a turn and the poisons got him. It's crazy. This is crazy. So obviously Sigurd's gonna take a turn in a minute. As long as Sigurd goes before Gizmak, we should get him. I think Gizmak might play his stuff. Okay, cool. Gizmak does his stuff. Okay, so Sigurd was able to cleanse off the poisons. I did take the turn earlier. I think because KALVALAX died, it got him killed. So you can see here what we're trying to do. It's a very, very crazy team, and it's dying, right? That's the main thing. It's dying. So we have another team here. Mafar Life Pain is probably a counter because she should be able to resist this. But the other champions who take the turns, who are not in Stone Skin or immunity, will get countered by this, and it's kind of disgusting again. So we're going to do this. Obviously, you actually need increased attack as well, because that actually increases the poison's damage. I've done some testing on that already. I'm going to try and take her out with A1, which unfortunately we don't, because she might be able to cleanse. And oh, there you are. That says it all, right? Go pop. And then we'll do the up. And then we should, in a minute, go pop, pop, pop. Whenever you're ready. Unfortunately, I'm very sorry. Sigurd's going to get a turn. There you are. Cool. It's beautiful, right? Beautiful from the KALVALAX. This is a level 2 blessing. Someone asked me to do the video again on Neil on a level 2 blessing to kind of show the worth. And unfortunately, I don't have access to one on that. And that's what kind of made me want to do today's video with this relic and do on a level 2 blessing. Now, again, we have a very meta team with the Sigurd. I guess Sigurd and Arbiter are probably the only two that are crazy meta in his team. I guess we'll bring in Armads for CC because we don't want to try and kill them. We just want to showcase this nutty damage. So again, you can see that even Yumokon does receive the poisons because it goes on before the Veils. Obviously, you saw that it counters Hegemon, which is pretty nuts if you ask me. And then you'll see in a second that we'll be able to pretty much one-shot all these, unless Swift Parry or something procs. Swift Parry can be a counter to this, because Swift Parry I guess Swift Parry wouldn't be a counter actually, because the poison's one for 2 turns. Drop down to silver, proc the Swift Parry, you'll take your turn, like that Star Sage, and then you'll probably die. So I guess it wouldn't be classed as a counter. My apologies for that, because I'm still trying to get my head around this as well. This is the first time I played with it. I've done a little bit of testing, but I'm still getting my head around this. And someone tried to do this to me the other day in the live arena, but I was able to one-shot his whole team with Emrys, who was in Stone Skin. Again, Sigurd, down right. You think Necrid's a counter as well? Let me tell you, you're wrong. Necrid is not a counter as well, because a Necrid can also counter Necrid as well. Now, I think we do lose this now because unfortunately we don't have many poisons. Unfortunately, so I think we do lose this. Kind of interesting to see if that 1 poison tick will be enough, depending on the HP. So we'll see. There goes the Arbiter. It's embarrassing for his Arbiter, I guess. And okay, we're gonna go to reset. She just survives, so we'll knock her down, get the job done there, I guess. And then I think, oh, there we are, because he's putting out more poisons. His passive never goes on cooldown. So he's going to take a turn and he should die to the poisons on the revive. Yes, please. Again, 408k damage. And this is not even a crazy team, right? We could throw in another nuker in here and make this issue. Obviously, Star Sage can be a counter in a correct build, depending on how he's built. We have a Valkanus here, which is a crazy champion unity. Probably the best champion unity in the game right now for PvP in my way. And obviously you can see Stoneskin is a counter, which is great. There's counters to him, so we take that into consideration. I want to show how good he is, but I also want to show you counters, because a lot of people are saying right now, how do we counter it? Or Stoneskin is going to be everyone's best bet. Resistance will be everyone's best bet. Immunity, everyone's best bet. So it's going to be more important than ever. People are saying Stoneskin are dead. Well, is it? Because right now it's looking very good. If you don't run Stoneskin, you're going to open yourself up to Hegemon more. You're going to open yourself up to KALVALAX more. I think it's more of a balance across your whole team, not just one thing. Obviously, Star Sage should cleanse and save, but again, we should ignore his passive, right? Because it's not a fatal hit. We're actually not going to hit him at all, so we should ignore him. Torment is like half a counter, I guess, because he'll die, self revive, and then the poison should be disappeared because he's died. So all the debuffs should disappear. I'm not too sure how it works against Nice. I haven't tested it yet. So obviously, if you've got a good Star Sage build or good cleanser, it could be any cleanser, by the way, from File Life Bane, right? Unfortunately, I can't find any on defense to kind of showcase that. But you can run this team with like Marius behind him, get a couple of kills off, and then run Marius behind him to clean up to get a head start. We can see another meta champion here as well. So I'm actually gonna just like swap up my team a little bit and throw in someone with accuracy or to try and deal with this, to try and help KALVALAX. KALVALAX only has about 500 accuracy, not a lot at all, because I've been stacking up that attack. You need to stack up a lot of attack on the KALVALAX to kind of get this going. That's one thing I would say. That's a big point needed. So now you know his passive is very deadly as well. So again, we'll try and see if we can get hold of that. Do the accuracy up. We should help KALVALAX do his stuff. Where we land up one poison there, which is not going to do much to her. I'm just gonna see if we get a turn. No, okay. I wanted to show that we're gonna counter his passive, because I know we counter his passive as well, because bomb counters him. But unfortunately, the Star Sage kind of ruins the showcase a little bit there. So you know, Star Sage, we don't want to hear Star Sage being a counter. Okay, we have a Nice here. Let's see if the Nice passive will counter it or not. Right, it's really interesting to see if Nice counters it or not. Okay, he's in Stoneskin, so that will counter it. That will do the job really nicely. Unfortunately, we do need to try and find a Nice without Stoneskin, so it's kind of one of them ones. I know it doesn't look amazing right now because we're not attacking the right teams. But again, I wanted to just showcase counters to this, which are all at the moment are mythicals. I wish we could have a KALVALAX on defense, but it kind of is what it is. So again, Star Sage is in Stoneskin, so he should be able to cleanse. Unless I can do something about it, which I don't think I can, because he's gonna have his Stoneskin. Yeah. There's oh, we can sheep him, right? We can sheep him there. Not sheep him, sorry, sleep him. Sheep him. I don't think weaken works. So there was the Swiperi, helped keep our Arbiter alive. But the poison ticks will kill her the next turn. So is it a counter? I'm not too sure. I wouldn't class it as a counter really, but you can kind of see that it's kind of useful to slow the ticks down, I guess. So you could use Swiperi as a way. So KALVALAX died. Because KALVALAX died, it reduced the damage on Sigfrid, because the blessing, from my understanding, the blessing is not working when KALVALAX is dead, and also the relic is not working as well. So it reduced the damage on the Sigfrid. So that's why he didn't die before he took his turn, because he should have died before that. I think that's what is generally happening anyway. I know when he gets polymorph, it also does that as well, because I've tested it. So I know that it does work like that with polymorph, and I'm gonna say it kind of works the same with that when he's dead. So you can try and just kill him straight away and kind of work with it from there. So we need to find a team really that doesn't have a Star Sage to kind of show that Marishka's a counter because she puts block damage, but there is ways that you can remove the block damage by using like the Stoke guy from Ogre Tribes, right? So you can put the poisons, remove the block damage, and maybe we can show you actually. Maybe maybe we can do it Lady M, right? Potentially we can do it Lady M, because what we can try and do, put up the poisons. As long as she's not in protection, you remove the block damage, and you'd need another nuker. Okay, so there's some stone skin here, but we do have a chance to remove it from there. But Marishka is actually going to cleanse, if I'm not mistaken. So it's risky to kind of do it against it. I wouldn't recommend it, but it could work, because if we remove the block damage here, Eva dies, but Marishka takes a turn. So you could do that, right? You could do that. Actually, I don't think what we could do is maybe who would be better than the Lady M would be Armaz, because he can sheep. So maybe you come in with Lady M for the increased accuracy. You play Arbiter for the increased attack, for the poisons, because increased attack is increasing the damage. Keep showing chat Discord, because I left on the wrong monitor. So what we're gonna try and do is sheep her. Of course we get wanted. All right, come on, let me have my fun, Blaze. Oh my god, just watch me get wanted like 15 times now, because I'm trying to show this. All right, please, just let me have my fun. I don't really care about tokens anyway. I want to show it because we do it. People do it with bombs, right? At live arena top ends when they're trying to use a Commodus. That's how they get around it. So they'll sheep this here, remove the block damage here. You got another nuker ready to go, right? So, you know, we can use the ally attack, for example, like this, blah, blah, blah. Try and get a kill there or whatever. She goes down. And then you try and deal with the Armads or whatever way you can. I guess in arena, a live arena, you could do something a bit more funky. We can probably, there we are, there's a killer. Not the best of ideas, but you can kind of see and how you can counter Narishka with a KALVALAX, right? It's really important to play the sheep, stripper, and then you would need another nuker to play on the back end of this, which in live arena you get 5 champions, they ban 1. So you guys can kind of play with that depending on your roster. But there is options there for sure and what you can do. So there is other counters to help your KALVALAX against Marishka. Marishka's in protection though, then you're kind of screwed, right? But generally the most exciting teams, okay, we have a KALVALAX here. Let me show you how I would counter the KALVALAX, right? So let's think about this. So we will test out the Necrid first. I want to show you how it works with Necrid and show you that it doesn't work with Necrid. This is what I've been told anyway. So KALVALAX should land the poisons before Necrid puts the ally protection on. Okay, it counters. Maybe because of the stone skin. Let me try again. That's not a stone skin nuker. Let me try that, because I've been told it doesn't counter. So let's try that again. Maybe it does. If it does, it's better for the meta because we have a counter. So let me try Necrid with Rodus. We're just gonna put them 2 in, then I'll show you how to counter it. Or I'll show you how to counter it on my account anyway. Okay, so Necrid does counter it. Amazing. So Necrid does counter KALVALAX. I was told he wasn't. I've tried it now, so I know he does. So you guys now know that he does. So how would I counter it on my account? Well, obviously I can use Necrid, but let's just talk about Queen. Obviously it works different from Hedgie, so you have to take your turn first. So you're gonna go Queen and Cora. You're gonna hire a high resistance champion like UDK. You can Queen and Cora is basically immunity to cleanse. Then we can use I guess Stone Skin champion, or you don't even need to use the Stone Skin Nuka. So what Nuka is not in Stone Skin? I guess Rodus, right? And because Rodus won't take his turn before Ancora is the faster one, we should basically be able to resist the whole of this. We'll land the poisons on Necrid. Sorry, Rodus. That's a really bad build. That is a really bad. Okay, so the whole point is we're also in Stone Skin as well. And we're just going to A1 here. Don't ask me why my Maris is faster. And then, obviously, you would just cleanse like that, right? Poison's gone, threat's gone. You can only put 1 damage down. Again, we can test this with a 2-man defense, so you can kind of see and how powerful it is. Bear in mind, this guy is probably really happy right now with his KALVALAX. We're thinking like, I've won so many fights. And really, he's just been a test dummy, right? Because he's the only person I can find my KALVALAX on. Okay, so he's got a really bad build on his KALVALAX because he should be landing more than 1 or 2 poisons, should be landing 4 really, which is the same. Again, doesn't matter if it's in Stone Skin or not, we can cleanse it, remove the poisons of that. As long as your cleanser is the fastest champion, you'll be able to counter this, right? And that's the most important bit. Again, didn't do anything because we use shields, and shields can help you. We go like this, we go like that. Actually, let me show you what a bolster set can do, right? Let me show you what a bolster set can do, because we can also use bolster set as well. It's more turned into like a counter lesson than the meta. So we're just going to throw Duchess in. Duchess is in a very low resistance, and then we won't do anything, right? We'll just show it. We'll take some damage. We got reaction. I don't think it should kill her. Bolster is pretty chunky. Okay, but you can see we survived. Now, 2 bolster sets. You throw Necrid in there. Necrid's in bolster. That's more HP, right? So you can also use bolster. But a cleanser, let's say Queen and Cora, bolster set, Bonamatite, that can also help you as well. So there is counters to KALVALAX. Let's see what happens when KALVALAX versus KALVALAX, right? Like, who goes first? Does it work like Hedge one? Fastest one goes first? I don't know. Let's find out, right? I don't know if he's KALVALAX is faster than mine anyway. We'll take some counters. So we'll take the the UDK and Cora. We'll take the KALVALAX. We'll take the Sigvard, because Sigvard also a counter to him. So go second teams, very, very strong. Why would I use? I wouldn't use a KALVALAX like that. My KALVALAX went before his, I guess, because he's faster. I didn't have increased attack, so I didn't kill his Arbiter. So you can see that the increased attack is going to be super important. Let me go ahead and drop in my Arbiter, for example. As you'll see here, once I drop in my Arbiter, if long as I'm faster, if we do the increased attack, I probably will one-shot that Arbiter, right? So let's do that. You guys can kind of see that the poisons are really important, the increased attack. So we survived. He actually went first this time. Okay, we'll cleanse off the poisons off us. Arbiter dead. Because we did increase attack, increase the poisons, was able to go Bonamatite, right? And that's the special bit about it. So there is counters to this, and I guess so we've showcased the counters. Now let's do the showcase, right? 24 minutes into the video, not too bad. So you need increased attack with your KALVALAX to make this work, to make it work well anyway. So, you know, if you kill them, fair enough. If you don't, you understand that you will need more attack. Now I have around about 10k attack, and you see me, I didn't kill the arbiter, so you can survive it overall. So that's one thing to kind of take into note. You don't want to drop the turn meter because you want them to take a turn, and then again we'll come in, and then we'll just ideally start going pop pop pop. Okay, he is really slow, or we're just really fast. Can Odin get off his block damage? Because if we take enough turns, he should get it up. There it is. We'll play the A2 of Arbiter. Okay, he takes his turn. Thank you very much. 5 poisons. Merry Christmas. Good night. Amazing, right? Cool. Neil, we did a video on her the other day. Nuts champion. I'm going to throw KALVALAX. So I think what I like about KALVALAX is he's got increased attack. I don't know why I keep bringing it up. Old habits, I guess. I don't know why I keep... anyway. So you can see here, if there's no stone skin, we're kind of screwed. Cool. So Neo is still going to be the queen because you can see, but the stone skin doesn't actually do anything to her. She she ignores block damage. She just ignores all the rules. Kind of a bit wrong in my opinion, but you know, it's one of them ones because it's better to have nice counters. She just steals on my buffs. Will die to that, and then yeah, you'll see that he survives on a few. But we basically need more attack on our champions to kind of do our thing. She's still the queen. That's what she's I guess she's a mythical. She should be stronger, right? It wasn't the right style of team to use against anyway. So I guess that is probably a good. I feel like that's a good showcase. I think it was him actually who tried to KALVALAX me last night because I faced him in live arena, and I think I actually just beat him. But yeah. Anyway, you can kind of see what we want to do with the KALVALAX. Let me show you the build and how we're going to build him, so you guys can kind of take into consideration how to build him. KALVALAX is top tier, by the way. He's going to be a niche pick, but he is top tier, so it's good to have him ready, ready to go. Maybe I'll do a video on Nishak with this blessing and etc. next week, when I've got more resources to move around the relic, right? So let's have a look at stats. So don't worry about speed too much. But again, if we're going to face other KALVALAXes in Classic and 3vs3, try to get much speed as possible because it seems to be like that. We aimed for 500 accuracy. I think maybe that's a bit too much because we're aiming at speed teams and counter speed teams and people that are fasting you, counting hegemons, etc. You want to stack that attack really, really high because you can see that without really, really crazy attack, you will struggle to kill. So if you can't get minimum 10k attack, I probably wouldn't even worry about it, or maybe even upgrade the relic further than I have. I've only took the relic to level 3 and I've only got lethal dose level 2. You can see with lethal dose level 2, we did take on some fairly good teams and get some good kills. Now, if you build a team correctly around him, with using proper champions like Marius, etc., which I didn't want to make the champion overpowered by other great champions like Marius, etc., and kill the whole teams, then this is something. I will try to get some playtime with him in live arena next week, and I'll put him on the thumbnail because he'll be ready to go. I'll have to change his build because I'll need his gear for Nishak, but this relic's gone to level 3. He's obviously lethal dose, and he does bring a speed aura as well, which is quite useful overall. So obviously, how did we go? We went basically accuracy and attack everywhere, with a little bit of speed and accuracy substats across the board. There's nothing special in this. It's really not hard to build. He's probably easier to build than Hegemon in some sense because his gear is a bit more free-to-play friendly. Hegemon kind of needs that good savage, etc. Again, these are actually really bad masteries, I actually think, because this is my masteries for Dragon. You definitely could come in with Blade. Blade. I think there is probably better masteries. So let's have a look at what masteries I would probably recommend on Raid Bro. Because I'm not going to really say his masteries just yet. Obviously, you're going to come in for the support tree. I probably would go Eagle Eye for extra accuracy, actually. Would be a really good call. Law of Steel for extra stats, which would be super, super solid. Spirit Haste wouldn't really be needed. Master Hex would be really good to extend the poisons from 2 turns for 3 turns. I guess you can go Evil Eye, so you can drop a bit, turn meter back on the 8-1, or you go Cyclone Magic. I would probably go Evil Eye because it might be more useful for longer term fights. And then I guess you just go attack here, and then I don't know, like you'd have to test the masteries because I don't know what would increase the damage overall. Maybe something like that, I guess, or maybe Cyclone Violence would work. But I don't think it really matters. You can just potentially just take the support tree and leave everything else the way you want it to, and just take the attack here, right? Half a job. I've got two. I've got 2 of these KALVALAXes, but only one of them has lethal dose, so it's one of them ones. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Talking about counters, I think we showcased them pretty well. I've also shown you a decent amount of counters in today's video. Let me show you the Ancora build quickly. You guys can pause the screen and take a look. But also, I'll move my head out of the way because, again, someone will point out that I left it in. So there's the UDK, high resistance, etc. And then Ancora, which is coming in immunity. There is many champions. If you don't have Ancora, please don't stress and be like, I don't have Ancora. There is a lot of champions that can do this role, right? Mafala Lifebane without immunity because of her passive. You can also use Null as well. What's that hard? Dyslexic. No, so she's Secret Order. She's Void Affinity. Anyone that's basically got a cleanse, which can do the job very well, which is Secret Order. Where is she? Did I put her on reserve fault? Oh man, here we go. So you can use her, right? Lady Null or whatever we'll just call her lady. I won't embarrass myself with the spellings. You can use her, right? I don't use her on my account. Put her in immunity or stone skin or both. Very solid champion. Cardio, in the right builds can work. Like who else could you use? Eva could work as well. Not Alva from Silver Watchers. She can also work. I don't have her, so I can't really showcase her. I do apologize. Not as well as people think. There's a lot of counters. Marishka as well can do the job. Nukas who like Sigfrid and nice. Yeah, I mean, what else can I say? Who else can cleanse, right? That's kind of meta. They're like the main ones, I guess, come on top of my head for today's video. So yeah, hopefully it kind of makes sense anyway. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. As usual, guys, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll be Grim. I'll see you next one. Peace.